had no idea. All right, Elvi, you ready? Okay. And welcome back, guys, to Two Please English. It's your boy, Reggie, and... Elvi. Aw, Elvi is here. Yay. Not like she's not always here. that would be weird. I just show up and like, where's Elvi? That would be weird.
I was thinking about doing that for a few episodes.
Just not showing up?
Yeah.
Then I would like have to get like a new co-host for a couple of episodes?
No, you just do you alone.
Alone?
Yeah.
And then you would do it too?
No.
Dang. I don't know if I could do it alone.
Of course you can.
Hello?
You like to talk.
To myself?
Yeah, that too.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to I think most people, and we're going to talk about friends. But instead of saying this is my friend, we're going to talk about the homie, the big homie, fam, little bro, little sis, homeboy, homegirl. That's what we're talking about today.
Cool.
What? Why you sound like that?
What do you mean?
Okay, cool.
That's how I normally sound
This
like.
is not how you know. Okay, cool. All right, I'm sorry.
I don't sound like that.
No, you don't. You don't sound like that at all. All right, so if you are a purveyor or you're somebody that is always on the internet, you will probably see somebody say, or if you watch movies, you will probably say somebody is the homie, or that's my homie, or that's my homegirl. All that literally means is friend, but we need to kind of go back and where it comes from, right? So I don't know, Elvi, can you tell me the equivalent of the word gang, G-A-N-G, gang in like Chinese? What is the word gang in Chinese?
Why do you always ask me these questions?
Because I just assumed that you would know. Like when you think of gangs like back like in America, like the Bloods and the Crips, what would be a gang in another kind of gang?
You're talking about like the mafia gang or just
like that kind of gang.
Oh.
What's the equivalent to that?
黑道.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay. So this is what we're talking about. Gangs. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, in a gang, there's the top guy or top person, right? Mm-hmm. And that person and their enforcers make sure everything is going correctly. Make sure you don't get out of line. Make sure you follow the code. Okay? Mm-hmm. You got to follow the code. Now, with that being said, and like a Blood or a Crip gang in America, Rolling 60s or whatever you want to call it, that person is usually called the big homie. Okay? Mm-hmm. They're usually the person that's at the top. They make sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing in the organization and make sure no one steps out of line. Okay? That's the big homie. But later down the line, the big homie began to change. All right? So, for example, later down the line, the big homie just means somebody who's older than you, who's your friend, who gives you advice, who's been through some you know what, and now, they are able to give you or impart wisdom on you. That's the big homie, right? So for me, like I've got like at least 3 big homies for sure. You got any big homies?
Can I call like women that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they give you like do they give you good advice and stuff like that?
Depends.
Oh. Depends on what.
No, I have like big homies for different things. So it depends on like what kind of advice I need.
Okay.
I'll turn to different people.
I never thought about that, but when I think about it in my own point, my own life, I do have big homies for different things. So yeah. I've got a big homie well, I'm not going to tell you before, but like I got a big homie in San Francisco that I'll probably see. My boy John. I got a big homie that's here. Etienne, shout out Etienne. And a big homie in Busan, South Korea, my guy Ken. But these are all some of my big homies. Also, if you don't know, homie is actually short for homeboy. Okay? It's actually short for homeboy. And originally, homeboy just meant somebody who is your friend from your hometown or from your neighborhood, right? And you can say homeboy or homegirl.
That just means friends.
It just means a good friend or a close friend from your hometown or from your neighborhood or from your state, right? Now it doesn't matter about that. So, for example, if I say, there's a certain way that you say the homie that lets someone know that this is like a close friend. So if I say Elvi is the homie, if I say, oh yeah, Elvi is the homie, that's kind of like, it makes it sound like you're kind of peripheral, casual friend. But if I go, yo, Elvi is the homie, that's like, this person is a really close friend of mine. Right? So that's what we mean by when we say the homie. But depending on how you say it, it could be, it lets the other person know, the person you're speaking to, know that this is a close friend of mine. Now, also, with big homie, it's also kind of respect, right? Because we also say, like in English, especially for Black Americans, and I think like a lot of people of color, we call someone who's a friend that's older than us, we might say that's our big bro, right? Even if we're not related, that's big bro, or that's big sis. If we're the same age, that's just bro or sis. And if they're younger than us, we might say, oh, that's little bro or little sis. Okay. You have any little bros or little sis? Like not your actual little bro, but like any little bros or any little sis?
Yeah,
sisters?
I think so.
Okay. Fair enough. Do you give them good advice when what do you think that their advice?
I don't think that, well, maybe the little sis will come for me for advice, but come to me, but little bros probably not. I don't know, it depends.
Okay.
Like I think a lot of them just send me gifts.
So big sis, gift.
Yeah, things like that. Okay,
that's pretty cool. I have some little bros. They're not my actual little bros, but like my little bros probably don't usually come to me for advice. They might come to me for like romantic advice or how to like deal with an awkward situation where you need to tell somebody about themselves, but you want to do it in a more respectful way. So my little homies might come to me for that, right? But other than that, they don't really come to me for a lot because I don't really have a lot to offer.
You suck.
I have nothing here for you guys, but maybe how to be a little bit more respectful when talking to someone about something difficult, right? The other thing you can say is, besides little homie or big bro or the homie, as I like to say, you can also say fam, which I think this is something that everyone knows, right?
Yeah.
Fam. And fam is, sometimes it's just used loosely, oh, the fam. But a lot of times, especially for me, if I say, oh, that's fam, that's like somebody close. That's like, in Korean, I'm not supposed to say this, but because it's kind of like, you should use it in a setting that's not very, how can I say? If you were in a setting where you were meeting the president of the United States or of Korea, you wouldn't say this term. But there's a term in Korea that's kind of like the homie or fam, which means they're like your brother or sister. This term is bola chingu. I might be saying it wrong now because my Korean is starting to suck, but bola chingu means like, this is a person so close that we were inside our parents together. I'm saying it that way because I cannot say what it actually means because we have children listening to this. So like, we are that close. We're really close. Okay. But fam or the big homie or anything like that, or that's my brother, that or my sister, that is something that that is kind of the equivalent. And depending on how you say it, usually people know like, oh, okay, this is somebody they really, really love and admire and respect. Okay. Now, let's get into something that's a little bit dicey. Are you ready? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. So, have you ever dated someone where you've had a guy friend who was like the homie, like your brother, like your friend, and the person you're dating was like, no, I don't mess with this. Why is this your friend? Why is this the homie? Have they ever been like kind of jealous of the homie?
Like the opposite sex or the same? Oh no, the same sex.
Yeah. Have they ever been?
No.
None of your friends have ever been jealous of your homies?
None of my friends are jealous of my homies.
Oh, sorry. That was dumb. That was dumb. Sorry. So none of your boyfriends or people you've dated, that was so dumb. None of the people you dated have been jealous of your homie. Like that was a guy. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I don't think so. Or maybe they did. They just didn't tell me.
Ah, okay.
They didn't have the balls to tell me.
Oh.
No, it's like I will always tell if I do have, well, I do, but I mean like I do have like probably 2 or 3 or maybe more, but like the really ride or die ones, like probably 2.
Okay.
Guy friends.
Right.
Maybe more. I need to count, but let's say 2. And then like whenever I get into a relationship, I'll just like tell the partner like, oh, I have these 2 guy friends, so you don't need to be jealous of them, but like we're really close. Right. Because we've been friends for 20 years.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Do you ever get like, so you got the big homies, like, well, maybe they're not big homies, but you got the homies, like these are like your ride or dies.
Yeah.
But do you also, do you have more guy friends than like women friends or female friends?
I used to have more guy friends, and I was like scared of women basically because they're shady most of the time.
Oh, no shade.
I don't know why they like, when I talked about this in my own podcast, like I was bullied by tons of like girls, and like growing up, they just, I don't know, they probably envy me or whatever. Okay. So they just, they try to bully me. So then I went to a boys' high school. So I had like more guy friends. I see. And I just find it easier to get along with guys. But then as I grew older, like now I think I'm quite balanced. Like I know how to get along with the female, well, women in general. Okay. So I think it's, now it's more balanced. So I have my homegirls and my homeboys.
Oh, let's go. Yeah. So would you say like, so now, what do you think changed though? Like, what do you think changed where you were like more comfortable about being with like your homegirls or having more homegirls?
I think at first it was probably because I met the right people. Right. You know, and then gradually it became like, I also kind of learned, because throughout the years you meet a lot of people, and I did business. Well, I still do business, but I mean like in the past I'll have to talk to all different kinds of people in a really short period of time. Okay. So that kind of trained me. Like I learned how to talk and say the right thing and not to offend people. So so then like gradually they'll just start to like me more. I see. And I think now it's probably because I have like my style is kind of more like accepted by the norms. I see. So they kind of not really look up to me, but they would be like, oh, I want to be like you, or I want to dress like you, or like you're different. And like a cool type of different. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. And that's cool. It's easier also for me to be friends with them. And also, this is like off topic, but I actually had this conversation with another friend. She's sort of like my big homie. Okay. And she actually invited me to her podcast, and we were talking about like how I've changed along the way, like similar to what we talked about. Right. And I just said, I actually have no idea why. Like in the past when I was young, I was different, but people hated me for that. But now because I'm different, so people love me for that. Okay. And at that time I didn't know why. And I told that big homie, and then she said probably it was because when I was younger, like I cared about my own like spotlight.
Right.
Like I was shining, but the light is more like, it's like sunlight. Like you can't look into the sun like directly.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's more in a like warmer tone where it's like probably, you know, in the afternoon or sunset kind of. Right. Like I still shine, but the light is like warm and acceptable. And then also like it helps people. Like,
right.
And she said like it's probably because my center, like I don't know, my center is different. I don't know how I should put that. Like
right.
In the past I was more focused on like maybe outshining others. I don't know. I didn't try to, but
right.
Yeah. But
sometimes sometimes you can't help that.
Yeah. But now it's more like my perspective would be to help people more.
Right.
So somehow that's like, yeah, people would want to accept me, whereas I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand that for sure. All right, let's change gears just a little bit. How would you feel if the guy you were dating was upset? Let's say you had a lot of guy friends. How would you feel? How would you feel if the guy you were dating didn't feel comfortable with it? Like what would be your thing? They were just like, all of these dudes can't be the homie, because you know some of them probably like you.
No, my homeboys, no.
Maybe not your homeboys, but the peripheral homeboys might.
That I don't know, maybe. But okay, so you're saying if my partner gets jealous,
right? Because you got a lot of homeboys.
I'll just have a talk, because it depends on like who he's jealous with, you know.
But maybe it's not just so, like some guys could be like jealous of the homies, and it's not any particular. It's just like, why you got all these homies? Because they might feel a little bit. Then we have a problem. I see. Ooh, then we somebody got a problem. Ooh. Oh, sorry. Okay. So wait. So, all right. So let's flip it. And let's say that your partner has a lot of homegirls. You're not going to feel jealous?
I think it still depends. Like, I think it needs to be reasonable. Just like I said, if you're just jealous because you're jealous, then we need to talk about it. But if you're just jealous of like one person in particular, then, you know, we can, yeah, all right, deal with that. So if my partner has a lot of homegirls, yeah, we can just like talk. Then that person can tell me like, oh, this like Janet is from like I got to know her from like blah blah, and then this is like Jessica again from blah blah blah. And then this is Jane from blah blah blah. Then
Triple J.
Yeah, then I'm okay with that.
Okay, so like basically it goes both ways for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so even if it's you or him,
yeah,
it needs to be open.
Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, I can totally dig that.
Friends are important too.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think also like people don't realize I mean, it's okay to be jealous. I think that's like part of being human. But I think also friends get different things from different friends. You know what I mean? Yeah, different experiences, different homies, right? Yeah. So with one homie, I might not be able to go to the bar, but I can definitely talk about history. You know what I mean? Like, or with one homie, they don't play video games, but we can definitely go to a museum. That's what they like to do. So like different homies like different things, I would say, for sure. Do you think having too many homies or too many, not the homies, but too many friends, do you think that can be a bit tiresome or a bit problematic?
No.
More tiresome, I think.
No.
Yeah, why not though?
Why would you feel tired about it?
Well, for example, like think about this. Like there are some people in the world, maybe me sometimes, that you have lots of friends, and you also feel like you need to hang with a lot of these friends. So you could be mentally and physically, you could become a little bit tired from hanging with the homies all the time. or exhausting. You know what I mean?
One thing about my friends, or maybe me, I don't know why people don't normally ask me out really often. It's not like every weekend they're like, hey, then like Jessica's like, hey, where are you going? Let's go to blah blah blah. And then next week Jane's like, hey, let's go. Like, people don't really ask me out like that. And I did ask them why, because I was like, why don't you just invite me to places, you know, like I'm probably 3. And I think all of them basically answered the same thing. They said like, oh, we think you're busy. Or I think you're busy and you probably have your own schedule and you have your own plans. So like, I don't think that you would have time for us.
Right.
But it's not like we're not friends. It's just, they all think that I'm busy, which I am. But like, yeah. So they just don't really ask me out like that.
Okay.
Unless I say like, hey, I want to go to this place. And I invite maybe some of them, maybe like I say, oh, I'm interested in this, and then next time when they're going maybe to that lake place or whatever, and then they'll say, oh, let's go together. So I don't feel exhausted or tired,
right? Because
I'm mostly in my own zone,
right?
They don't really, and I don't feel the need to hang out with everyone every time.
Yeah,
like you don't have to do that to stay friends.
That's true. If especially if you're like really good friends, you don't have to do that. I think though that sometimes people also need to understand like the importance of friends, because like I said before when I was talking about the homies, like that's the homie. Sometimes the homie is there like they're your brother or sister, and for some people they are brothers and sisters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times they get to see like my own brothers have probably seen me cry. They've probably seen all kinds of stuff. But also some of my closest friends, the homies, have also seen that. And I think that as human beings, we need that kind of connection. You know what I mean? Like we need the homies, so to speak, because like we got to get through this world, you know, and it could be really tough. So the homies are like brothers and sisters for sure. For sure. Have you ever had a time in your life? So I'll give you this. There's a time in my life when I lived in Korea where the homies were in abundance. Like the homies were everywhere. And we all lived in the same neighborhood. We all like did stuff together. When we rolled deep, right? There's like 15 to 16 of us. And we're all homies. We're all rolling deep. For me, that was a time in my life where I was just like, yo, this is like, I wish life could always be like this. You know what I mean? Have you ever had a time like that where you were like, man, these are some really good homies. These are some really like amazing friends.
Yeah, but I've never had like friends with like 16 friends at one time.
Yeah, at one time.
Like, no. I don't think I have that kind of experience. I think it's easier for foreigners when you're in a different countries. Like you would just stick together. But to me, it's no. Like when I was in Thailand, I have like a bunch of friends who I can like be outside with. But it's not like 16 people all together at one time.
Do you think you would be like that if you were in America though? Or does it? Well, I'll just let you answer. Do you think like you would be like that if you were in America? Like you would have like a bunch of like homies?
I don't think so.
Because I think you're right when you said that foreigners stick together, especially in Korea. Like here, I think foreigners stick together, but from my point of view,
I think it also depends on how old you are.
It could be that too. I think that's it too. Yeah. But I also think it sometimes might have something to do with the culture. And when I say the culture, I mean like Taiwanese culture just seems a little bit more welcoming. Yeah. Whereas at the time, maybe not so much now, but at the time, Korean culture was kind of closed and we didn't have a choice but to stick together. Yeah, yeah. But in that, we realized that we just had so much more in common, and we realized like we could depend on each other, right? And it was like, you ever see like those like TV shows where the people all know each other, they all live in the same neighborhood, they can go to each other's house, no problems, just like open the door, come in. Like that's what it was like we all lived in the same kind of area, and you know, you just go in half the time you don't even knock. You don't even like. It was such a weird, like not a weird place. It was such a cool place because you could see the homies without trying, but also like I was saying before, it could be exhausting. You know what I mean? Like that kind of situation because you're like, yeah, I really just want to go home. I don't want to see the homies on my walk.
Yeah, in that case, yeah. And I won't even appreciate if someone comes to my place without knocking. Like I precious my privacy.
I mean, clearly we've called before we were just gonna come through, but like
yeah, but if I'll have like 10 people calling me every weekend or like every day taking turns, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't
that life.
It wouldn't be it wouldn't be like that though. It would just be like maybe let's say for example, you're the homie. I call you and yo, I'm coming through. You know I'm coming through. So in that case, you know, I'm just going to open the door. Then I might say, such and such just messaged me. Can they come through too? And then that's how they would just be calling you. You know what I mean? It would be kind of a like a hookup kind of thing. Not a hookup kind of thing. That's it's not what I meant to say. Also, wow. Hooking up is both kind of an adult meaning and just a regular like meaning, like the hookup, right? All right, the homie Elvi, she outside, I'm outside. That was pretty good. It was deep and it was meaningful.
Hopefully our listeners are still here.
No, they are. Sometimes you need a little medicine in the candy. All right. So, hey guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And Elvi, you got anything else to say?
Don't forget to comment and give us 5 stars and follow us on Instagram.
And sound like an angel.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening, guys and gals.
Homeboys,
the homies. Yeah, the homies. Peace. Bye. Peace, guys.